this cut comes from.
So Rupert Murdoch, who's been saying much of this at the same time, but I just found it amusing. It sounds like the old tubes and pipes discussion from our former senator from Alaska.
Yeah.
And he was in Washington doing a talk. He's been out there preaching more recently, and it was at I think George Washington University with a journalist. And so I just found it amusing. Maybe you won't, but I thought it was amusing hearing Rupert discover the internet. And by the way, let's remember here as we listen to this, that Michael Wolff, his biographer, said that his last knowledge, Rupert had never touched a computer or used Google. Well, now you'll hear that he touches the iPad, if you consider that a computer. Sorry.
This is this, by the way, is Matt Wells, and it is the
Guardian.
From the Guardian. It's their Media Talk podcast. And 15 minutes in on the April 9th episode, this is what you'll hear.
Google taking his journalism for free.
They're going to stop people like Google or Microsoft or whoever taking our stories for nothing.
He's stopping what exactly?
Well, if you go to Google News and you see stories and it says Wall Street Journal, you tap on it and you suddenly get the page or the story as in the Wall Street Journal. And it's for free.
Right.
And they take it for nothing, and then they've got this very clever business model, which is, and they've invented almost a new type of advertising, search advertising. And so if they just pour out tens of millions of words a day, one way or another, they have key words in there which tie to advertising beside it. And it's produced a river of gold. And I think they ought to stop it. The newspapers ought to stand up.
Oh, God.
And
So
I hope they do stop it, Rupert.
back in the earliest days of the internet, I held focus groups in Cleveland. And we had people there who sat in there in the earliest days, and they said, you know, there's this amazing company that's bought all the content you can imagine. Encyclopedias and medical stuff and news and everything, and it just has everything. It's called Netscape. I honestly think Rupert thinks
that's what he thinks.
That the Google is the internet.
So when I go to the Google and I search for my journal and I see my journal
and I click on it, there's the page. That's my stuff. It's free. Yes, you're serving it up.
It's your page. He clearly doesn't know, and I'm surprised that nobody's sat down with him. And probably they're scared of him.
You don't want to be the one to do that.
Now, Rupert, let me explain this. We spend millions of dollars a year to put that page on the internet. And if Google didn't point to it, no one would find it. See, they're coming to our site, Rupert. That's us. He clearly doesn't. I mean, I don't understand what he's even saying.
No.
It's
you
like,
tap on it.
Is he implying that Google's putting ads on the Wall Street Journal page?
He thinks that Google is creating tons of content a day by doing this. He just doesn't know what this internet is.
In all charitableness, I'm really trying to, because I assume he's an intelligent person. He's been very successful. That I'm trying to understand, you know, presuming that he knows that he paid for that page. I'm trying to understand what he might be thinking. He's probably thinking, well, there would be no value to Google at all if it couldn't link to people. So the value that Google has, the billions of dollars that Google is worth, comes from the fact that they link to our content. So does he want money from Google, or does he want them not to do it anymore?
Well, right now he's saying he doesn't want them to do it anymore.
See, that's where he's kind of cuckoo.
Because you could do it right now, but obviously smarter